abuse is everywhere.
An elderly man betrayed. Police say this woman befriended him, then stole his money.
Tonight, meet Westmoreland County's newest millionaires. Find out what the lotto winners are going to do with all the cash.
Tonight, a Team 4 follow-up. Workers hurt on the job. What happens when the benefits run out?
Tonight, only on 4. You saw the interview. So did our panel. Pittsburghers judge Monica. But first tonight, the big story, a winter storm bearing down on southwestern Pennsylvania.
Mike, from spring to winter in just 12 hours, the rain changed to snow, and now it's coming down pretty hard. The side roads in Westmoreland County are slick. This car had trouble staying on the road, and the salt trucks are already out in full force, preparing for the morning rush. Here in Allegheny County, the roads are covered, parking lots covered. You'll definitely have to do some scraping before you head out in the morning. It's already slow going on the Parkway East. The live picture from our action cam shows the cars are moving cautiously. How much more can we expect overnight? Let's check in with Stephen Cropper.
Well, Sally, we've been watching through the evening. Temperatures falling, which is the first part of our recipe for bad travel. And then secondly, continued moisture coming up from the south. Numbers are now at 30 degrees at International Airport, 30 at Youngstown. To our west, we are seeing numbers a little milder, 34 in Zanesville with 34 in Parkersburg. And that area is not in the snow. What we're focusing on are the problems right around Pittsburgh, where the numbers are at 30. We've seen a wave of fairly healthy snow moving through, a little bit of a break, but now beginning to nose in through northern West Virginia. A second wave that will push through over the next several hours and continue to accumulate with temperatures below freezing in many areas. Reinforcements in the way of moisture with snows falling through West Virginia will continue to move from the south and from the southwest to the north and to the northeast. Eventually, as we get towards dawn and points past that, we'll get into a drier area, but accumulations will continue with 3 inches likely in many areas and up to 6 to 9 inches as you travel into the mountains. We'll give you a more detailed look at where the snow is falling and what accumulations we expect by tomorrow. All of that coming up in the 24-hour Denardo Weather Watch in just a few minutes. Sally?
All right, thanks very much, Stephen. And we've got breaking news in Westmoreland County. State police are on the scene of a multiple shooting right now. It happened at Placid Manor Trailer Park in Hempfield Township, and we do have a crew on the scene. As soon as police release more information, we will have it for you. The other big story tonight, of course, the Monica interview.
In fact, you just watched her first no-holds-barred interview. What did you think? Did it change your opinion of Monica Lewisnky? Michelle Wright live in our studios tonight with our local panel of Monica judges. Michelle, any opinions changing tonight?
I can tell you this, Mike, there were some very strong opinions as well as some surprises here tonight, right? I have 5 guests with me who watched the Monica interview. You will hear from them live in just a minute, but first, here's what they had to say before the Monica interview. When our guests arrived, none of them knew quite what to expect from Monica. We brought in a law student, a mother, a college freshman, a woman who writes educational curriculum, and a financial expert.
I've been trying to find a winner in this whole thing, and I haven't been able to find one.
I just think she's a young girl that just made a bad decision, and now, you know, it's all over the public. I don't really have... I can't judge her, because if I were judging her, I'd be judging, you know, a dozen other people. She probably sees him in a more sympathetic light in some ways, but then also in a more critical light, and it'll be interesting to see the dichotomy in her opinion.
Our group intently listened to Monica's story and watched her mannerisms, and most were shocked at how she handled herself.
And she seems to keep taking this as a joke, not something that she's done that has the serious implications that it has had.
I know a lot of college freshmen who are much more mature than her. Just kind of some of her gestures and everything seemed almost high schoolish.
Like, Lori, is that what you think? Yeah, it's like listening to someone discuss their date and they're giggling about it, and it's, you know, oh, how cute. Well, you know, a public apology, a very short one, would have been fine.
All right, now that our guests have seen the whole interview, let's hear what they have to say. I wanted to start with you, David Martin, our financial expert. You said something really interesting. You said after watching Monica, you were surprised President Clinton would ever get involved with her.
Actually, that was a surprise to, I think, most of the group. We were surprised that she would be involved, he would be involved. It was really something you would expect from somebody immature was what would happen. We expected more maturity out of this.
All right, I'd like to talk to Jennifer now. She's our law student here tonight. And you said something during the first commercial break I thought was interesting. You said she's just acting her age. But then as the interview went on, you said, wait, this is a little disappointing, and you had some mixed reaction.
Well, it was Monica ad nauseum, and I was embarrassed to watch some of the things that she was saying. It seems as though she likes to revel in the self-definition of femme fatale, and it seems as though she hasn't really learned anything over this past year of turmoil in her life, I'm sure.
Now, Noreen, you said from the very beginning that you thought that she was very immature, and you also said at the same time that she was very calculated in what she did.
Right. I wasn't certain sometimes whether or not all of this was scripted from the very beginning, but I also, as I said before, her immaturity struck me. In my role as tech prep coordinator, I interface with high school students on a daily basis, and many of those students I find bring a higher level of maturity to the environment than she seemed to bring in this interview, so it was quite surprising.
Now let's talk to our college freshmen, and I was really interested, David, to hear what you had to say in this whole situation, because you are a political science major. After seeing this whole thing, what has that told you about your career choice?
Well, it's made me much more cynical about just the whole system in general and about the people we have and everything, and maybe even the amount of sleaze that it takes to go into politics. And don't think I'd ever want to do it for myself.
Yeah, okay. Well, Lori, finally, let's get your reaction. You kind of changed your mind because at the very beginning you said, I'm not going to judge, and toward the end you became very disgusted with the whole thing.
Oh, I think her first mistake was doing what she did with the president, and the second was this interview. I don't know how she could redeem herself by doing this. It just seems worthless.
All right, so that wraps it up from here, and I can tell you, Sally and Mike, that there were a lot of changed opinions here tonight, but they were changed for the worse. Back to you.
All right, Michelle, thank you very much, and thanks to our guests. If you didn't get all your questions answered tonight, Monica's book goes on the shelves tomorrow, and even before it is out, it is already zoomed to the online bestseller list. In the book, Lewisnky admits that she had an abortion. She also attacks Ken Starr, claiming he secretly coordinated with Paula Jones's lawyers to catch President Clinton in wrongdoing.
New at 11, a story of broken trust and betrayal. A Brookline woman is charged with bilking a local senior out of thousands of dollars. Police say she befriended the retired police officer and then made off with his money. Christina Rangio is live at Major Crimes. Christina.
Sally, police say in 2.5 months, Bonnie Miller got $38,000 from an 80-year-old man in her neighborhood, emptying his bank accounts. We talked with Howard Nally tonight. He says before he knew it, his money was gone.
Suckers are born every minute. And I was a real sucker.
Howard Nally was a police officer for 25 years, but that didn't help him when he met Bonnie Miller. It started at the neighborhood CVS in Brookline. She said she needed $20 to fill a prescription.
But I felt sorry for her because of the deal that she said she had a miscarriage with 3 kids.
Police say Miller befriended Nally and scammed him at a time when he was lonely, missing his wife, who passed away recently.
It was just always one thing after the other, and he would go to the bank and withdraw the cash and give it to her with the promise that it would be returned to him.
Howard Nally says Bonnie Miller came to his house here twice asking for more money. That's when police say she made off with jewelry and blank checks. According to police, Miller stole Nally's gold ring and his cell phone, ringing up a $1,200 bill. Nally noticed 2 checkbooks were missing, and when he went to the bank,
I went to write a check for $100, and the girl says, I can't cash it. You only have $34 in the bank. Which is what? It was all gone.
Nally says he still has his pension, but he is out $36,000. Meantime, Bonnie Miller has been charged with theft, credit card fraud, and forgery. She's in jail tonight. Her hearing is coming up on the 12th. Live from Major Crimes in East Liberty, I'm Christina Rangio. Back to you in the studio.
Okay, sad story. Thanks very much, Christina. Well, a Steeler Hall of Famer faces more forgery charges tonight. Last week, Mike Webster was arrested for using a phony prescription to get Ritalin at a drugstore in Rochester. Now police in Center Township say that he did the same thing in drugstores there at least 18 times for Ritalin. Doctors say Ritalin can be addictive and dangerous. Webster's free on bond following his first arrest. Tomorrow morning, Evan Gross will be a free man. Gross will be released on parole early. He spent the last 4 weeks in jail for leading state troopers on a high-speed chase from Evans City to Carnegie. Gross suffers from manic depression and didn't take his medication the night of the chase. When the chase ended, troopers punched him and slammed his face into the pavement. In Butler County, sentencing day for a father charged with shaking his 9-week-old baby girl to death. Robert Ward will spend 1 to 2 years in prison. He pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter. Ward says he shook the infant to revive her after she fell out of a swing. Carlitos Bell will spend a few more nights in a Kansas jail. He's the trucker Pittsburgh police say kidnapped and molested a Lawrenceville boy. Bell appeared before a judge in Wichita to hear the list of charges against him. And we will find out next week if Bell plans to fight extradition back to Pittsburgh.
6 small balls changed everything for a couple from Westmoreland County. They are the newest lottery millionaires. John and Nancy Kuncher, married 50 years, are cashing in on the state's second biggest jackpot ever. The 6 numbers picked by the lottery machine down at Rosa's distribution company mean $12.4 million for the Kunchers.
I feel like there's balls in the lotto machine when they're bouncing all around.
Life's been crazy.
Crazy.
Man, I couldn't believe it. I laid it aside and picked up the paper again and went through the numbers again and seen that 3, 10, 29, 39, 60, 60. I checked the paper about 4 different times.
The Kunchers say they may build a house or buy a Mercedes. Well, who knows? Maybe a couple of both. Well, speaking of millionaires, another local quarterback joins Charlie Batch and Barry Sanders.
Who's the newest Lion? Find out ahead on Action News.
Coming up, hurt on the job, but will you be hurt by the system? I'm investigative reporter Jim Parsons. How Pennsylvania workers are coping with workers' comp. Straight ahead.
And Mother Nature returns, winter style outside, light snow falling, tricky travel as you roll out tonight and also early tomorrow. We'll give you a complete update in the 24-hour Denardo Weather Watch.
I just wanted to say that Monica Lewis, they're making a grand person out of her, giving her all kinds of praise and that. She's nothing but a glorified prostitute.
Sean from Webster. This was not the first affair she's had with a married man, Mr. Clinton. Does the word gold digger ring a bell?
He's a mob boss with a problem.
I got stressed.
Robert De Niro.
You are my shrink.
Billy Crystal.
You don't hear the word no very often, do you?
Analyze this.
I hear it all the time when it's more like, no, please, no, no.
Rated R starts Friday, March 5th.
At Pennsylvania American Water Company, we never forget that water is precious and that making it flow is our responsibility. Every day we work to protect and improve the one thing none of us can live without. We monitor, test, purify, test again. From the hydrant to the tap, our obligation is to you. Operating treatment facilities, keeping your costs low, pouring on the service. At Pennsylvania American Water, our commitment is crystal clear.
Who says you can't have everything? Now at Today's Home, you'll find literally everything on sale. Through Monday only, you'll save an amazing 40% off the hottest new looks and all the sensational favorites. Imagine 40% off every bedroom, every dining room, 40% off every entertainment center, every home office. Why, literally everything, wall to wall, is on sale now. But hurry, sale ends Monday at 9 p.m. Today's Home, where you really can live a little.
Will Silhouette conclude about the priest's mysterious death? Then Weekend Fun could mean lifelong pain. Medical editor Marilyn Brooks explains the risks that lead to Achilles tendon troubles. And trust Joe Denardo and Stephen Cropper for the most accurate winter weather forecast, starting at 5.
I'm cooking with Paul Newman. Stand back. We're in the kitchen stirring up some trouble. Do you know what it's supposed to look like when it's done?
I haven't the slightest idea.
Please be told, followed by Action News.
Zero to your heart in 1 second flat. The Audi A6.
Channel 4 Action News at 11 is everywhere. Live with Sally Wiggins. Mike Clark, 24-hour weather watch with Chief Meteorologist Joe Denardo and Stephen Cropper. Action Sports with Andrew Stockey. Action News continues.
Tonight, a follow-up to a Team 4 investigation that has stirred up a lot of emotion.
A few weeks ago, Action News investigative reporter Jim Parsons asked the question, comp helping you or hurting you? Since then, our newsroom has been flooded with hundreds of calls, emails, and many letters on this hot topic. Your story, Jim, really striking a nerve.
Mike, just about every response you can imagine, we've heard. We've heard all kinds of workers' comp horror stories over the past several weeks, but one subject that keeps coming up concerns something called funded employment. Workers forced to take a low-paying job to receive workers' comp benefits. We all run the risk of getting injured on the job, whether it's dangerous work like building demolition or a seemingly safe job like checking out groceries. What if you got hurt? What if your injury permanently prevented you from doing your job? Would workers' comp benefits cover you for the rest of your life? The answer for most folks is not anymore, not in Pennsylvania.
Right now, this game is tilted very heavily in favor of employers and against injured workers. I think that's bad for working people, and I think that's bad for Pennsylvania.
Democratic legislator Mike Vion wants to repeal part of a new workers' comp law. Act 57 limits workers' comp benefits to 500 weeks for most injured workers. That's about 10 years of coverage.
If after that 500-week period of time, they don't have the workers' compensation and they can't find work that they can do or they won't get hired, then how do they pay their mortgage? And that's the real problem.
Attorney Larry Chapin will testify next week at a state Senate hearing. So will his client, Norm Capella, who's been on workers' comp since breaking his foot while working on a company truck. His benefits will run out at age 50. Doctors tell Norm that because of complications from his diabetes, he can't drive a truck or even stand for any length of time.
He said I would have to live with it. He said the burning and swelling would progressively get worse, and eventually I would lose my foot.
Norm will tell senators at next week's hearing that not only will he lose his benefits in 7 years, but to keep them even that long, he had to agree to take an entry-level job with a telemarketing company. That's allowed under the new law. It's called funded employment. Workers' comp insurers can make you take a low-paying, no-skills job with another company. Some people are put to work tying fishing lures. Others, like Norm Capella, have to do telemarketing from home. If he refuses, he runs the risk of losing his benefits.
You know, I'm not a telemarketer. I was born and raised on a farm, and telemarketing is not me.
Why not? Why isn't it you? What do you think?
Well, I'm not publicly, you know, I'm not good with public.
Norm's attorney believes funded employment jobs are assigned to make injured workers miserable.
The jobs for the people who they're given to tend to be unpalatable. People don't like the work they're given in funded employment.
And so what's the result when they're not happy doing what they're doing?
They then decide to settle their case.
It's up to them, settlement or not settlement, to go forward and make a life and become taxpayers rather than tax takers.
Leonard Feldman owns a local company that assigns injured workers to funded employment jobs. He says it's a system that works.
We search for suitable employment for them and offer them a complete job and career counseling.
But one advocate for injured workers says counseling isn't enough.
I think it's wrong. I think it should be, they should train them for a job that's comparable in earnings to what they were losing as a result of the injury.
Now, Leonard Feldman, who you just heard from, will also testify at next Tuesday's Senate hearing in Harrisburg. The issue, should funded employment be abolished? Meantime, Representative Vion plans to hold his own hearings on revamping the entire workers' comp law, and we'll let you know how that develops.
All right, Jim, thanks.
Okay.
Thanks, Jim. What a roller coaster. What are people going to have to look forward to in the morning?
I think there'll be some slick spots, primarily on the secondary roads.
Oh, that's better to hear.
Some tricky travel indeed coming up overnight tonight and through the early part of tomorrow. Temperatures falling and snow falling as well. Makes for a hazardous combination. At the hour, checking at International Airport, we are seeing temperatures continuing to fall. In fact, to our current low for the day, to 30 degrees, the low for the day so far. We were at 49, believe it or not, earlier this afternoon. 25 and 43 the normals. when you do the higher math, we were 5.5 degrees below normal for the date. Cloudy skies, 2 miles visibility, light snow falling at and continuing to fall at International Airport, 30 degrees the air temperature, 92% relative humidity. Winds are up there from the north-northwest at 19, gusting to 28, 2944, and a steady barometer. First stop again, next rad Doppler weather radar. We are seeing that slot that we saw of a lighter snowfall now beginning to fill back in from the south, working to the north. Snow showers continuing to press from West Virginia, hopping across the border now through Washington County, working into southern Allegheny County. Well, the first wave that we saw put down 3/4 of an inch to 1 inch at International Airport. Higher amounts as you get into eastern Westmoreland County and into eastern Fayette County, and as you get into some of the ridges higher than that. We will show you the detailed snow forecast coming up in just a moment. But just know that should you be traveling out in the next couple of hours, there is another wave of snow coming our way that will continue to press through overnight tonight through the early part of tomorrow. We did see that one little break now, and again, it's beginning to fill back in, but what we're keeping a close eye on is the dry area that's now working through parts of eastern Ohio. This is forecasted to move in as we travel through the early part of the day tomorrow, but before that, again, more snow showers continuing to work in. Okay, accumulations. Let's detail them for you. 3 inches, again, at Pittsburgh International, around Allegheny County, through western Westmoreland County, western Fayette County, down as you get into Greene. As you get into eastern Fayette, into eastern Westmoreland, into Somerset, in the higher ridges, 6 to 9 inches expected, including Garrett County, Maryland, and also parts of Preston and Fayette County, or Preston and Tucker County in West Virginia. 8 to 12 inches possible as you get into some of the higher areas still headed over towards Altoona. So just know that there will be snow on the ground. Numbers also part of the recipe, below freezing, which sets up a very tricky scenario. Treated roadways should be okay, but we will continue with snow accumulating overnight tonight through early tomorrow until we get this low rippling away into the north. After that, snow tapers to flurries and just colder conditions for the afternoon tomorrow. Details in the 24-hour Denardo Weather Watch start like this. Hazardous driving tonight. Windy with snow showers accumulating to 3 inches. Again, higher amounts to the east. Low number to 27. Start you off with a wake-up of snow showers. Temperature to 28. Down tomorrow into the afternoon, we finally taper the snow to snow flurries. Hazardous driving, though, for the morning commute. Added additional accumulation of 1 inch. High temperature to 34. Down tomorrow night, partly cloudy with a low to 25. And then into Friday, variably cloudy with our next storm rolling in. A few showers or flurries with the high temperature to 42. Into the weekend, we continue off and on with a few winter-like flurries falling. Saturday at 42, occasional showers, breezy and colder with morning snow showers back for Sunday. And Monday, mostly cloudy skies. Temperature back to 41. And after a break of 9 months, it was back to the classroom for our friend Joe Denardo. He has been taking a break from his Wednesday school visits, but today I got to join him, and we headed west.
Today was school day, and Steve and I traveled east to Murraysville to visit Sloan Elementary. We were greeted by Ms. Kryvak, the principal, Mrs. Fryer, president of the PTO, Dr. Lee Rick, superintendent, Dr. Neary, the assistant superintendent, and the entire student body. Following lunch, we spoke to 770 students, kindergarten through the 6th grade. Sloan Elementary is part of the Franklin Regional School District, serving the municipalities of Murraysville, Export, and Delmont, with a student population of 3,840. Sloan Elementary is a school with a tradition of excellence. Teachers are agents of change, and they have cross-grade level teams where the higher grades work with the lower grade students on reading, writing, and computers. The building has state-of-the-art technology utilizing scanners, digital cameras, and whiteboard technology. All computers are networked into one main frame, and Sloan Elementary has a very active and supportive PTO. Our thanks to all of the students, parents, teachers, and staff for a wonderful school visit and their generous contribution to Project Bundle Up. The cake was great, and next week it's Rogers Elementary in the Shaler Area School District.
They were singing "You Are My Sunshine." Joe is their sunshine.
Yeah, I saw the sun on the cake. Let's hope it's in the sky tomorrow.
We're looking for it.
Thanks very much, Stephen.
Sure.
Mike.
The Panthers picked their new coach. We'll tell you who it is and when it becomes official next in Action Sports.
This Success by 6 moment is brought to you by Health America.
Listen up, people. 25% of pregnant women receive little or no prenatal care. Babies are born underweight, developmentally impaired, and in some cases with life-threatening medical complications. See your doctor regularly. Avoid alcohol, drugs, and cigarettes. Do what's right for you and your baby before it's too late.
Health America, helping
helping all children achieve success by 6.
May the great spirit of our ancestors grant you and all the people of the earth good health.
Is there anything more important in this world than good health?
May your family enjoy good health throughout the years.
We must always be thankful for good health.
May you live a full life, a happy life, but most of all, a healthy life.
Health America and Health America Adventure, because good health is everything.
Tarantulas are poisonous. Napoleon was short. You can't get a Mercedes for anywhere near $40,000.
Fact is, tarantulas are harmless to humans. Napoleon was tall for his day, and there are 5 Mercedes between $31,000 and $41,000. Hey, you can learn something new every day.
We're all a part of the Circuit City customer service team. From the minute you walk in the door, our goal is to give you 100% customer service.
We want you to have the best shopping experience ever.
If you're looking for a new TV, Circuit City can make it easy for you. So you just tell us the size of your room, and we'll help you pick out the perfect TV and screen size.
Right now, you'll save on this 27-inch TV with stereo sound. Take control of your home theater with the universal remote and enjoy 2 shows at once with picture-in-picture. Now just $329.99. Plug into low prices at Circuit City.
This Saturday, and this Saturday only, it's Levin Furniture's one-day sale. Buy all the furniture you need and pay absolutely nothing for 18 months. It begins at 9 a.m. Saturday and ends at 9 p.m. For 12 hours, Saturday, a furniture sale so big, it only lasts one day. Only at Levin Furniture. Don't miss it.
The Flying Mile. Race fans gather at Daytona's Flying Mile. Winning Daytona shows that the 300 is a spirited, full-blooded automobile.
Chrysler 300M, born like its ancestors with the most torque in its class.
She's a regular firecracker.
And now Motor Trend 1999 Car of the Year. Lease the Chrysler 300M for $399 a month.
The Pitt Panthers already looking forward to next basketball season.
And their new head basketball coach, it's not a big surprise who is getting the job, but he does have the job. Ben Howland has been hired. The Panthers striking a deal tonight to make the Northern Arizona coach their new sideline leader. The official announcement will come on Monday. Now, Ralph Willard still has a job, hopes to hang on to it a little longer. Big East tourney opener with Rutgers, and as you can see from up above, the Panthers had some weapons. Kelly Taylor from outside hits the three-pointer, and Pitt is hanging tough. But with only 7 players dressed, Pitt was outnumbered by the Scarlet Knights. Off the turnover, Rutgers runs, and they will score here. They are midway through the second half in New York, and the Panthers trail 44-32. It is one and done for the Dukes. First round of the A-10 tournament against Massachusetts. Duquesne was running early. Wayne Smith to Courtney Wallace to Aaron Lovelace. The Dukes by 2 at halftime. The next 20 minutes belong to the Minutemen, who knocked out the Dukes 80-70. Courtney Wallace with 26 in the losing cause. The Dukes finished 5-23. It is turning time in Operation High School. Tonight's winners, they're below on our exclusive Action Sports sticker. Now, Newcastle fans tonight were thinking three-peat, but only McKee Sports stood between them and a third straight trip to the finals. This one not even close. Desmond Wetzel, the move and the foul. And the Red Hurricane cheerleaders know they are going to the finals. Any doubt was dashed by this play. Wetzel, alley-oop, David Young. Oh, you cannot touch that. Newcastle wins 102-67. They will face NA in Saturday's Quad A finale. The Penguins are the league's best on home ice, and they had a cool reception planned for the Canadiens tonight. Despite losing Martin Straka to a first-period injury, Pittsburgh had enough firepower to take a 3-1 lead. Stu Barnes on the power play. But suddenly, lightning strikes. The Canadiens come up with 3 goals in the second. Mark Recchi to Shane Corson. It's 4-3 Montreal after 2. But in the third, Jaromir Jagr scoops up the puck, makes a brilliant move right here, and beats Jeff Hackett. The Penguins finish in a 4-all tie. This game went to overtime. 4-4 is a tie. And the Detroit Lions seem to be eating up all the Western Pennsylvania quarterbacks. Gus Verrata, Ford City, signed with the Lions today. He joins Homestead's Charlie Batch there.
Pittsburgh West.
That's our team now, our second team. Excuse me.
We'll be right back in a minute.